Welcome to Daily English Room. Today's topic is music. Do you like to listen to music?
Oh yes, definitely. I actually can't imagine coding without my music on. It helps me focus. Sometimes my colleagues tease me because they can see me coding with headphones, slightly nodding to the beat. Whether it's EDM while working or English pop songs during my commute, music is a big part of my daily routine.
Yes, absolutely. Though these days, most of my music time involves either children's songs with my kids or educational songs with my students. But in those precious quiet moments, especially when I'm preparing lessons late at night, I love listening to peaceful Arabic or French music. It helps me unwind and stay connected to my roots.
Of course. In my kitchen, music is as essential as salt. I always have something playing: Brazilian samba when I need energy, smooth jazz when I'm creating new recipes. You know, I even organize my prep work according to my playlists. A kitchen without music is like food without seasoning. It just doesn't feel right.
Yes, I do. Being a designer, music really helps me get into different creative moods. When I'm working on detailed illustrations, I need something calm like instrumental music. But when I'm brainstorming new ideas, I love energetic J-pop or K-pop. Plus, playing violin is my way to take a break from staring at screens all day.
Absolutely. You know, when you spend so much time in nature, music takes on a different meaning. I love listening to folk songs during tour breaks, and there's nothing better than ending a long hiking day with some music around the campfire. Though sometimes, I just enjoy listening to the natural sounds of the mountains. That's music too, in its own way.
Yes, I love it. Music is such a big part of my life as a student and activist. Whether it's Afrobeats to lift my mood during study breaks, or environmental songs during our climate action meetings. I especially love discovering music from different cultures that carries messages about protecting our planet.
What types of music do you like to listen to?
I mostly listen to electronic music and EDM. It actually helps me focus when I'm coding. But lately, I've also been getting into English pop songs as a way to improve my listening skills. Artists like Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift. Their lyrics are pretty clear and easy to follow.
With 2 young kids at home, I find myself listening to a lot of children's songs in English. But when I have time for myself, I love traditional Moroccan music and French jazz. It reminds me of my heritage. I also enjoy peaceful instrumental music when I'm preparing my lesson plans.
In the kitchen, I need something energetic, so I play a lot of Brazilian samba and bossa nova. It keeps me moving, but I also love international jazz and funk. You know, cooking and music are similar. They both bring people together, no matter where you're from.
I'm a huge fan of K-pop and J-pop, but I also listen to a lot of Western indie rock bands. As a graphic designer, I find that different music styles inspire different creative moods. Oh, and I love movie soundtracks too. They're perfect when I'm working on detailed projects.
Being outdoors so much, I've developed a taste for folk music from different countries. There's something authentic about it, you know, but I also enjoy rock music, especially when I'm driving between tour locations. Nothing better than some classic rock while driving through the Slovenian countryside.
Being from Nigeria, I grew up with Afrobeats and traditional African music. But I listen to everything really: R&B, hip-hop, indie. As a student, I often study with lo-fi beats playing in the background. And I love discovering music from different cultures. It's like traveling without leaving your room.
Do you play any musical instruments?
I actually started learning piano during the pandemic. You know, being a programmer, I thought it would be a good way to exercise a different part of my brain. I'm not very good yet, but I practice using this learning app for about 30 minutes every day. It's quite mathematical in a way, which suits my mindset.
I used to play the oud. It's a traditional Middle Eastern string instrument, when I was younger. These days, I'm learning some basic guitar so I can play simple songs for my students. Children really engage with lessons when there's music involved.
No, unfortunately not. My instruments are my knives and pans. I've always wanted to learn the guitar though. There's such a rich tradition of Brazilian guitar music. Maybe when I'm not working such long hours in the kitchen, I'll finally take some lessons.
Yes, I play the violin. I've been playing since I was 6. It's very common in Japan to learn classical instruments as a child. Though nowadays I mostly play for fun, sometimes arranging anime theme songs or pop music. It's a nice creative outlet different from my design work.
I can play a bit of harmonica. It's perfect for camping trips. You can't exactly carry a piano up a mountain, right? It's great for entertaining tourists around the campfire. I know some traditional Slovenian folk tunes that always get people in a good mood.
I play African drums, specifically the talking drum. It's part of my cultural heritage, and I love how it can literally speak different tones. I'm also learning to play the ukulele. It's small enough to fit in my dorm room, and it's great for environmental awareness gatherings when we want to sing together.
Who are your favorite musicians or bands?
I'm a huge fan of Daft Punk. Their electronic music is incredible, but it's also interesting from a technical perspective. I love how they blend technology and music. Recently, I've been listening to Imagine Dragons too. Their lyrics are clear enough for English learners like me to understand.
I adore Faraz. She's a legendary Arabic singer who brings back so many childhood memories. In terms of Western music, I love Adele. Her emotional way of singing helps me understand how to express feelings in English. And for teaching, I really like the Beatles. Their simple, catchy songs are perfect for the classroom.
João Gilberto is my all-time favorite. He's the father of bossa nova and represents everything beautiful about Brazilian music. I also love Jamie Oliver's friend, Jimmy Doherty. Not many people know he's also a musician. He makes food-themed songs that combine my two passions.
I'm a huge Radwimps fan. They did the soundtrack for Your Name, this amazing anime film. Their music blends Japanese and Western styles perfectly. I also love Coldplay. Their visual aesthetics really inspire me as a designer. The way they combine music with visual art is incredible.
I'm a big fan of Siddharta. They're actually a Slovenian rock band that combines traditional sounds with modern rock. Internationally, I love Foo Fighters. Their energy is perfect for long drives between tour locations. And John Denver, his nature-themed songs really resonate with my love for the outdoors.
Burna Boy from Nigeria is definitely my favorite. He blends Afrobeats with global sounds and often addresses social issues in his lyrics. I also love Tracy Chapman. Her song, Talkin' 'Bout a Revolution, really inspires my environmental activism. Oh, and this new band called the Blue Marble, they make amazing music about climate change awareness.
Do you enjoy singing or dancing?
I love karaoke. It's huge in China, and I still go with my colleagues here. It's actually helping my English. I learn pronunciation through song lyrics. Dancing though, let's just say I stick to coding. My body doesn't move like that.
Dancing is part of our culture. I do traditional Moroccan dance at home with my kids. It's how we stay connected to our roots. Singing. Well, only nursery rhymes with my students and children. My kids tell me to stop singing in the car.
In Brazil, you grow up dancing samba. I'm not great, but I can keep the rhythm. When I'm cooking alone in my kitchen late at night, I often sing and dance. It keeps me energized. Some of my best recipes came while dancing around the kitchen.
I used to be so shy about it, but I recently started taking dance classes, K-pop choreography. It's such a good stress reliever after sitting at my design desk all day. Singing is more private for me, just in the shower or while sketching.
You know what's funny? I'm not much of a dancer, but sometimes tourists want to learn traditional Slovenian folk dances around the campfire. So I had to learn. As for singing, I know lots of hiking songs. They help maintain rhythm on long treks and boost group spirit.
Oh yes, both. In Nigeria, music is rarely just for listening, it's for participating. I love teaching my international friends African dance moves at university parties. And singing together during climate protests creates such powerful energy and unity.
How does music affect your daily life?
It's essential for my work actually. When I need to concentrate on complex coding problems, I put on instrumental electronic music. It helps me get into a flow state. I also listen to English podcasts and songs during my commute. Sometimes I even study the lyrics to learn new expressions.
Music is a big part of both my family and teaching life. At home, we start our day with children's songs in different languages. It's amazing how quickly kids pick up words through music. In my ESL classes, I use simple English songs to teach pronunciation and vocabulary. And in the evening, some calm Arabic music helps me unwind.
In a professional kitchen, you need energy to keep going during those long shifts. Music helps maintain the rhythm, it's like a heartbeat for the kitchen. And when I'm experimenting with new recipes at home, different styles of music inspire different cuisines. Brazilian music for feijoada, jazz for French dishes, it all connects.
As a designer, I create different playlists for different types of work. Like, upbeat K-pop for deadline-driven projects, ambient music for detailed illustration work. I even have a special playlist for client meetings. Music really helps me manage my creative energy throughout the day.
Well, music is a huge part of my tours. I use it to create atmosphere, playing local folk music while driving through traditional villages, or energetic rock music before a rafting adventure. It really helps tourists connect with the experience and the culture. Plus, singing around the campfire is still one of the best ways to end a day outdoors.
Being a student, music helps me structure my study sessions. 30 minutes of focused work with lo-fi beats, then a break. But more than that, I use music to stay connected to environmental activism. We often use songs during protests and awareness campaigns. Music can carry such powerful messages about climate change.
How do you think music has changed over the years?
From a technical perspective, it's fascinating. AI is now composing music, and streaming platforms use algorithms to recommend songs. As someone in tech, I find this amazing. But sometimes I wonder if we're losing the human touch. In China, traditional music has merged with electronic elements. It's like a bridge between old and new.
The biggest change I've noticed is accessibility. When I was young, we had to wait for specific songs on the radio. Now, my kids can listen to anything, anytime. It's great for teaching. I can find educational songs instantly. But I also make sure my children know our traditional Moroccan music, which hasn't changed much, thankfully.
The fusion of styles is incredible now. In Brazil, our traditional samba is mixing with electronic music, jazz, everything. It's like what's happening in cuisine, this beautiful blend of flavors and cultures. Though sometimes I worry some authentic cooking techniques might disappear, just like some traditional music styles.
As a designer, I notice how visual music has become. It's not just about sound anymore. Music videos, social media, visual effects, they're all essential now. In Japan, we've seen virtual singers like Hatsune Miku become huge stars. It's really changing how we think about artists and performances.
Tourism has actually influenced music a lot. Here in Slovenia, some traditional folk bands are adapting their style to appeal to international tourists. It's a double-edged sword, it keeps the music alive but changes it too. And globally, music seems more instant now, less patience for longer songs.
Social media has revolutionized everything. Artists can go viral overnight, and music spreads globally so quickly. It's great for raising awareness about issues like climate change. African music, especially, has gone global. Afrobeats is everywhere now. Though I hope we don't lose the storytelling tradition in our music.
Can you share a memorable experience related to music?
Last year, I attended my first Western music festival here. It was overwhelming but amazing. The highlight was when the whole crowd sang Yellow by Coldplay together. Thousands of people from different countries, all singing in English. That moment made me realize music truly is a universal language. Even though my English isn't perfect, I felt completely connected to everyone.
There was this beautiful moment in my ESL class last month. I was teaching through a simple English song, and one of my shyest students, a young Syrian refugee, suddenly started singing confidently. The whole class joined in, and I could see her just bloom with confidence. It reminded me why I love teaching through music. Sometimes a song can help break down barriers that words can't.
My most powerful music memory is from my grandmother's kitchen in Sao Paulo. She would always play old bossa nova records while teaching me traditional recipes. One day, as we were making feijoada, her favorite João Gilberto song came on. She stopped cooking, took my hand, and taught me to dance right there between the pots and pans. Now whenever I hear that song, I can smell her cooking and feel her joy.
2 years ago, I got tickets to a Studio Ghibli orchestra concert. They performed while scenes from the films played on a huge screen. As a designer and musician, seeing the perfect harmony between visual art and music moved me to tears. I actually based my next design project on that experience, trying to capture music in visual form.
This happened during a mountain trek last summer. We were caught in unexpected rain, and morale was low. I started playing harmonica, just a simple folk tune, and suddenly, one of the tourists recognized it from his childhood. Soon everyone was sharing songs from their countries. That rainy afternoon turned into this amazing multicultural music session on top of a mountain. Now that's what I call cultural exchange.
My most powerful music moment was at a climate change rally last year. We were all singing this song written by local activists, about our dying forests and rising seas. The chorus was in different Nigerian languages plus English. Seeing people who couldn't even speak to each other joining voices for our planet, that gave me hope. Music makes our message stronger.
How do you discover new music these days?
Mostly through algorithms, actually. Being a software engineer, I'm fascinated by how streaming platforms recommend music. But I also follow English learning playlists on Spotify. They're great for finding songs with clear lyrics. And sometimes my international colleagues share music from their countries.
My students are my best source of new music. They always know the latest English songs. And through my kids' French school, I discover lots of French music. I also follow several ESL teaching channels that recommend good songs for language learning. It's wonderful how music can be both entertaining and educational.
Instagram. Believe it or not, I follow lots of chefs, and they often share what they're playing in their kitchens. There's this whole community of cooking while listening to music content. Plus, when international chefs visit our restaurant, we always exchange playlists. Food and music. They're both about taste, right?
Since I work in visual media, I often find new music through animations or commercials I'm designing for. But I also use Pinterest. People create these amazing visual music mood boards that inspire both my design work and my playlist. And of course, anime soundtracks are a constant source of discovery.
My tourists introduce me to music from their countries, which is fantastic. I keep a notebook of songs they recommend. Also, I follow several adventure sports channels. They often have great soundtracks. When I find a song I like, I add it to my tour playlists.
Social media is my main source, especially TikTok and Instagram. They're great for finding environmental activist musicians from around the world. My university's International Student Association also organizes monthly music sharing sessions. It's like a musical journey around the globe.
What are your thoughts on music education? Do you think it's important?
Absolutely. In China, many parents focus only on academic subjects, but I think music develops different kinds of intelligence. As a programmer, I've noticed that learning piano actually helps with logical thinking and pattern recognition. When I have kids, I'll definitely encourage them to learn music. It's like another form of coding, really.
As both a teacher and mother, I see how powerful music education is. Children learn language so much faster through songs. In Morocco, we have a rich musical heritage, but many schools focus only on academics. I try to integrate music into my ESL lessons whenever possible. It's not just about learning instruments, it's about cultural understanding and self-expression.
You know, in Brazil, music education often happens informally, in homes, at festivals, in the streets. But I think formal music education is valuable too. In my cooking classes, I use music to teach about Brazilian culture. Music and food, they both need proper technique but also creativity and passion. They should teach both in every school.
In Japan, music education is quite structured. I had to learn classical music and traditional instruments. While that discipline was valuable, I think schools should also teach modern music and music technology. As a designer, I see how audio and visual arts are merging. Future generations will need to understand both.
Here's what I've learned from guiding tours. People who have some music education tend to be more open to different cultures. They understand that, like languages, music has different dialects, but speaks to everyone. Slovenia has good music education programs, but I think they should include more world music.
In Nigeria, traditional music education happens in communities. It's about passing down our stories and culture. But I think formal music education needs to adapt to modern issues. Imagine if schools taught how to use music for social change. We need both traditional and contemporary approaches to music education.
How does music help you learn English?
It's been a game changer. I use this method where I listen to a song while reading its lyrics, then try to sing along. It really helps with pronunciation and natural speech rhythm. Sometimes I catch myself coding while humming English songs. My colleagues think it's funny. I've learned so many idioms and expressions from pop songs.
As an ESL teacher, I see music as a powerful teaching tool. Personally, I improve my English by singing along to slower songs. Adele is perfect for this. I also use children's songs to learn family-related vocabulary. The repetition in songs helps me remember phrases better than traditional studying.
In the kitchen, I play English language cooking shows and their soundtracks. It helps me learn cooking terms and general vocabulary. Sometimes I write down lyrics I don't understand and look them up later. Gordon Ramsay's shows have taught me lots of English, though maybe not all suitable for polite conversation.
I learn best through visual connections, so I love watching English music videos with subtitles. It helps me connect words with images and emotions. I also follow English-speaking musicians on social media. Their casual posts help me learn everyday English. And when I'm stuck on pronunciation, I try to find it in a song.
Leading tours in English means I need to understand different accents. Music helps a lot with this. I listen to American, British, Australian singers, and it trains my ear. I also learn lots of descriptive words from songs about nature and adventure, perfect for my work.
Music has helped me master the rhythm and intonation of English. Nigerian English has its own rhythm, but through music, I've learned to adapt my accent for international communication. I especially love learning through rap music. It teaches you wordplay and cultural references you won't find in textbooks.
What are your music-related goals or dreams? I'm actually working on combining my programming skills with my love for music. I'm developing an app that helps Chinese speakers learn English through pop songs. My personal goal is to reach an intermediate level in piano within the next year. And maybe, just maybe, perform at our company's annual party, though that's still a bit scary to think about.
I dream of creating a multilingual music program for my school, something that uses songs to teach not just English, but cultural awareness too. I'd love to learn enough guitar to accompany my students without relying on recordings. Oh, and I want to organize a multicultural music festival at school, where parents and children can share songs from their heritage.
My big dream is to open a restaurant where live Brazilian music is as important as the food, creating a complete sensory experience, you know. I'm also planning to start a YouTube channel where I cook while teaching Brazilian songs. First though, I need to improve my singing. Maybe take some proper lessons.
I have this dream project, creating animated music videos that teach Japanese culture to international audiences. As for personal goals, I want to perform violin covers of popular songs at local art events. I'm also learning music production software to combine with my design work, maybe create multimedia art installations.
I'm working on creating themed musical hiking tours. Imagine trekking through the Alps while learning about traditional alpine music. I'd also love to record an album of camping songs from different cultures. And personally, I want to master enough songs on harmonica to represent music from every country my tourists come from.
My biggest dream is to organize a global music festival for climate awareness, bringing together musicians who sing about environmental issues in different languages. More immediately, I want to start a university club that combines music with environmental activism. And I'm learning to write my own songs about climate change in both English and Nigerian languages.
Has your taste in music changed over time?
Definitely. Back in China, I mostly listened to mandopop and gaming soundtracks. Since I started learning English and working in tech, I've opened up to electronic music, Western pop, and even classical music for focusing. It's like my musical taste has grown alongside my career and language skills.
Becoming a mother and teacher completely changed my music world. I used to listen mainly to Arabic pop and French music, but now I appreciate children's songs and educational music. I've also started enjoying instrumental music more. It's calming after a busy day with kids and students. Though I still love dancing to Moroccan music when I can.
When I was younger, it was all about fast-paced samba and Brazilian rock. Now that I'm a chef, I appreciate slower, more complex compositions, like how a good dish needs time to develop its flavors. I've also grown to love jazz fusion and world music, which reflects my approach to cooking, mixing traditions to create something new.
My taste has become more experimental. I started with strictly J-pop and classical music from my violin training. Now I love discovering indie bands, electronic music, and even traditional folk music from different countries. Being a designer has made me appreciate how different music styles can inspire different visual moods.
Years of being a tour guide has completely transformed my playlist. I began with just Slovenian and Balkan music, but now I enjoy sounds from everywhere. Each tourist group brings new music into my life. Though I've noticed I prefer more peaceful, nature-inspired songs as I get older, maybe because I spend so much time outdoors.
University has really broadened my horizons. I came with my Nigerian music background, but being part of the environmental movement has introduced me to protest songs, folk music, and even experimental ecological soundscapes. Though Afrobeats will always be my first love, I now see music as a global tool for change.
What are your favorite places to listen to music?
My absolute favorite is my home office setup. I've got these high-quality headphones, and I've positioned everything perfectly for coding sessions. But I also love listening while on my evening walks through the city. It's fascinating how different music can make the same streets feel completely different. Sometimes I find quiet spots in parks to practice my piano apps too.
The kitchen, definitely. When the kids are at school, I put on my favorite playlists while preparing lessons and cooking. But I also created this special reading corner in our living room with a small speaker. It's my personal space for grading papers while listening to calm music. And of course, the classroom during our music-based lessons. The children's enthusiasm is contagious.
The kitchen is my concert hall. Early morning prep time is perfect for energetic Brazilian music. But I also love listening on my balcony after work. I have a small herb garden there, and something about watering plants while listening to bossa nova just feels right. During my days off, I explore local cafes that play live music.
My design studio is my main music space. I've set it up with good acoustics for both working and practicing violin. But my favorite spot is actually my morning commute on the train. Something about watching the city pass by while listening to music feels like I'm in a movie. I also love finding quiet cafes where I can sketch and listen.
Nothing beats listening to music around a campfire in the mountains. The acoustics of nature are incredible. During drives between locations, my tour van becomes a mobile music venue. Each journey has its own soundtrack. At home, I have this small balcony overlooking the forest where I practice harmonica.
The university gardens are my go-to spot. There's this perfect bench under a big tree where I study and listen to music. Our environmental club's meeting room is another favorite. We often have impromptu jam sessions there. And I love listening while walking along the beach near campus, especially to songs about nature conservation.
How does music affect your mood?
It's like a mood regulator for me. When I'm stuck on a difficult coding problem, electronic music helps me focus and stay calm. If I'm feeling homesick, Chinese traditional music brings comfort. And when I need motivation to practice English, upbeat pop songs give me energy. Music is like emotional debugging for humans.
Music is my emotional reset button. After a challenging class, traditional Moroccan music helps me reconnect with my roots and feel centered. When I'm preparing lessons late at night, soft instrumental music keeps me peaceful. And nothing lifts my mood faster than dancing to children's songs with my kids, even when I'm exhausted.
In the kitchen, music is my mood thermometer and controller. Fast-paced songs help during rush hours. They keep me energized and moving. When I'm experimenting with new recipes, smooth jazz puts me in a creative mood. If I'm feeling frustrated, Brazilian carnival music always brings back my smile. It's impossible to stay stressed while samba is playing.
As someone who deals with visual emotions in my work, music is like my emotional color palette. Lo-fi beats keep me focused during detailed design work. When I need creative inspiration, dramatic film scores help my imagination flow. If I'm feeling anxious about a deadline, classical violin pieces calm my nerves. Maybe because they remind me of practicing as a child.
In my line of work, I use music strategically to manage group energy. Upbeat folk songs can lift spirits during challenging hikes. Calming acoustic music helps everyone relax after an adventurous day. Personally, nature sounds mixed with gentle music help me unwind after intense tours. It's like a musical shower for the soul.
Music amplifies everything for me. Environmental activism songs channel my frustration about climate change into determination. Traditional Nigerian music grounds me when I'm overwhelmed with studies. When I'm happy, Afrobeats make me dance around my dorm. And during study sessions, instrumental music helps me stay focused without getting too emotional about complex environmental issues.
What do you think about live music versus recorded music?
As a tech person, I appreciate the perfection of recorded music. It's like a well-optimized code. But I'll never forget my first live concert here. There were some technical imperfections, but the energy was incredible. It's like the difference between running a program in a controlled environment versus real-world testing. Both have their value, but live music has this human element that can't be replicated.
In the classroom, I rely on recorded music because it's consistent and clear for language learning. But there's something magical about live music. Last Eid, we had a small gathering with live traditional musicians, and my students came. Watching them experience live Moroccan music for the first time was beautiful. Live music creates memories in a way recordings just can't.
It's like comparing home-cooked meals to perfectly photographed cookbook pictures. Recorded music is polished and reliable, great for the kitchen. But live music? That's where the real flavor is. In Brazil, live music in restaurants creates this amazing atmosphere. You can feel the passion, even if there are small mistakes. It's more authentic, more human.
As a designer, I see it as the difference between digital art and traditional painting. Recorded music is like digital art, precise, reproducible, perfect for certain situations. Live music is like watching an artist paint. You see the human touch, the small variations. When I play violin live, each performance is unique, influenced by my emotions and the audience's energy.
In tourism, both have their place. Recorded music is perfect for our tour videos and promotional materials. But nothing beats live music around a campfire. Live music creates these spontaneous moments, like when tourists join in with their own songs, or when we have to adapt to the weather or environment. It makes each tour unique.
For activism, live music has this raw power that recordings can't match. During protests, live songs unite people in a way that's so much stronger than playing recordings. But for studying or everyday listening, I love the accessibility of recorded music. I can explore environmental songs from around the world. Both serve different purposes in our movement.
If you could learn any instrument instantly, what would it be?
The synthesizer. It's fascinating how it bridges traditional music and technology. I could create electronic music while understanding the technical aspects of sound generation. Plus, as a programmer, I love the idea of programming sounds. It would be amazing to combine my coding skills with electronic music production.
The guitar, definitely. It's so versatile for teaching, portable enough for classrooms, works with both children's songs and traditional music. I could accompany my students singing, teach songs from different cultures, and even create multilingual educational songs. Plus, it would be wonderful to play lullabies for my children.
The cavaquinho. It's a Brazilian string instrument essential to samba. In my dream restaurant, I'd love to not just cook but also perform traditional Brazilian music for guests. It would add such an authentic touch. Also, its bright, cheerful sound perfectly matches the energy of a busy kitchen.
The shakuhachi, Japanese bamboo flute. It would be amazing to combine traditional Japanese music with my modern design work. I imagine creating multimedia projects blending shakuhachi music with digital art. Plus, its meditative sound would be perfect for focusing during long design sessions.
The accordion. It's crucial for traditional alpine music, and it's portable enough for mountain treks. Imagine reaching a beautiful viewpoint and being able to play traditional songs from various mountain cultures, Swiss, Austrian, Slovenian. It would add such a special element to my tours.
The kora. It's a West African string instrument that tells stories through music. I'd love to compose environmental awareness songs using traditional African instruments. The kora has this beautiful, gentle sound that I think could really help convey messages about nature and conservation in a powerful way.
If you could have a private concert from any musician, living or past, who would you choose?
Oh, definitely Daft Punk. Gets excited not just for their music, but I'd love to see how they combine technology with artistry. I have so many questions about their creative process. As a programmer, I'm fascinated by how they use electronic elements to create emotional connections. Plus, it would be amazing to see what's behind those iconic helmets.
I would choose Kulthum, the legendary Egyptian singer. Speaks with reverence. My grandmother used to tell me stories about gathering with family to listen to her radio concerts. I'd love to experience that magical voice in person, sharing the same space with such an powerful artist. I think hearing her sing about love and life would help me better understand our cultural heritage, which I could then share with my students and children.
João Gilberto, without a doubt. Gestures enthusiastically. I'd ask him to perform in my kitchen while I cook. Imagine that. The father of bossa nova, singing The Girl from Ipanema while I prepare traditional Brazilian dishes. I'd love to hear him explain how he developed his unique style. It would be like a masterclass in both music and cultural heritage.
Ryuichi Sakamoto. Eyes light up. His work bridges traditional Japanese music with modern composition, just like I try to blend traditional and modern elements in my designs. I'd love to watch how he approaches the piano, how he creates these amazing soundscapes. Maybe we could even discuss how visual art and music complement each other. That would be incredible for my multimedia projects.
John Denver smiles warmly. I know it might sound simple, but his songs about nature and mountains really speak to what I do. I'd love to sit with him on a mountain peak at sunset and hear him sing Rocky Mountain High. Maybe he could even write a song about the Slovenian Alps. His music really captures the spirit of adventure that I try to share with my tourists.
Fela Kuti speaks passionately. He was more than just a musician, he was an activist who used music to fight for justice. I'd love to hear him perform his revolutionary songs and discuss how he used music to raise awareness about social issues. As an environmental activist, I think we could learn so much from his approach to combining art with advocacy. Plus, his Afrobeat rhythms are just incredible.
Why do you think older and younger generations prefer different types of music?
From a tech perspective, I think it's partly about how we consume music. My generation grew up with algorithms and streaming platforms. We're used to discovering new genres instantly. Our parents had limited access, maybe just radio and cassettes. But it's also about social change. In China, younger people like me are more exposed to international music, while our parents connect more with traditional Chinese music because it reminds them of their youth and cultural roots.
As both a teacher and mother, I see this generation gap every day. I think it's about more than just taste, it's about identity and change. My parents' generation cherishes traditional Moroccan music because it represents cultural continuity. My generation bridges traditional and modern styles. And my students, they're growing up in a global music culture, easily mixing Arabic pop with international trends. Each generation's music reflects their experience of the world.
In the culinary world, we say taste evolves with experience, and I think music is similar. Older generations in Brazil grew up when samba and bossa nova were revolutionary. These styles tell the story of their youth. My generation explores fusion styles, just like modern Brazilian cuisine mixes traditional and international flavors. Younger people now? They create new genres by sampling everything, like contemporary chefs experimenting with fusion dishes. Every generation's music represents their recipe for self-expression.
As a designer, I see this as a visual evolution too. Older Japanese generations connect with traditional music and classic J-pop because it's tied to their memories, like looking at an old photograph. My generation grew up with anime soundtracks and digital music. Younger people now experience music differently. It's more visual, more interactive, with virtual idols and social media. Each generation's music reflects how they see and interact with the world.
Leading tours has shown me how music marks different eras of change. In Slovenia, older generations cherish folk music because it tells stories of our history and traditions. They lived through times when preserving our culture was crucial. Younger people, growing up in the EU, mix traditional sounds with modern styles, just like they're comfortable being both Slovenian and European. It's not just about music preference, it's about how each generation defines their place in a changing world.
From an environmental science perspective, I see how each generation's music reflects their relationship with the world around them. Older Nigerians often prefer traditional music that's deeply connected to nature and community storytelling. My generation combines these traditions with global influences and urgent messages about climate change. Younger kids now? They're creating entirely new forms of protest music, mixing local sounds with global environmental movements. Each generation's music carries their hopes and fears about the future.
What song would you choose to represent your life right now?
Interesting question. I'd choose Brave by Sarah Bareilles. It's about pushing your boundaries and finding your voice, which resonates with my journey of learning English, working in tech, and constantly challenging myself. The lyrics about speaking up and taking risks really match where I am in my career and personal growth. Plus, the upbeat tempo reminds me of the energy I try to bring to my work.
For me, it would be Adele's Beautiful to Me, though I relate to it differently than most might. It's about finding strength in your multiple roles, as a mother, a teacher, a woman balancing different parts of her life. Some days I feel pulled in many directions, but the song reminds me that all these roles make me who I am. It's about self-acceptance and finding beauty in the complexity of life.
Without a doubt, the girl from Ipanema, but not for the reason you might think. It represents my life right now, a perfect blend of traditional and modern, just like how I approach cooking. It's Brazilian to its core, but it's also known worldwide. I'm at a point in my life where I'm bridging my traditional roots with my international dreams. That song is smooth, complex, and tells a story, just like a perfect dish.
I'd choose Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. As a designer, I feel like I'm constantly creating my own path, exploring new creative territories. The lyrics about every day being a blank page, about potential and possibility. That's exactly how I feel right now. My life is like a design in progress, and I'm excited about what I'll create next.
There's this Slovenian folk song about a mountain traveler. Its name translates to endless journey. It captures my life perfectly, always moving, always exploring, finding beauty in the journey itself. Some days I feel like I'm more at home on a mountain trail than anywhere else. The song speaks about the joy of discovery, the beauty of uncertainty. That's my life as a tour guide.
Rise Up by Andra Day. It's an anthem of hope and resilience, which is exactly how I feel as a young environmental scientist. The song is about standing up, making a difference, even when things seem impossible. Every day, I'm fighting for my generation's future, for our planet. Some might see it as idealistic, but to me, it's about taking action, about rising to the challenge.
What does music mean to you personally?
Music, to me, is a universal language, almost like code, but more emotional. Just as programming connects people through technology, music connects people across cultures, languages, and experiences. When I'm struggling with English, a song can communicate what words alone cannot. It's a bridge between my technical world and my human experience.
Music is how I tell stories, to my children, to my students, to myself. In Morocco, we have a saying that music is the language of the soul. For me, It's how I preserve our traditions, teach new languages, express emotions too complex for words. It's a way of keeping our heritage alive while embracing the new.
In Brazil, we say music is the heartbeat of life. For me, it's exactly like cooking. It's about creating something that brings people together, that tells a story, that carries emotion. Whether it's a samba that makes people dance or a slow bossa nova that makes them feel deeply, music, like food, is about connection.
As a designer, I see music as another form of art, a way of expressing feelings that visual mediums can't capture. It's color and shape for the ears. Music helps me understand emotions, helps me design, helps me experience the world more deeply. It's not just sound, it's a complete sensory and emotional experience.
Music is memory and landscape combined. Every song I hear reminds me of a place, a journey, a moment. When I lead tours, music helps people connect with a place beyond just seeing it, they can hear its soul. To me, music is how we remember, how we understand the world beyond what we can see.
Music is revolution. It's how we tell our stories, how we inspire change, how we connect across borders. As an environmental activist, I've seen how a simple song can communicate what 1,000 speeches cannot. It's hope, it's protest, it's connection. Music is how we imagine a better world and then start creating it.
That's all for today's daily English room conversation practice. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, like, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. See you next time.